Every 43 seconds, a vehicle is stolen in America. And contrary to what most people believe, it's not always with Hollywood-style technology. Sometimes, the trick is as simple as placing a coin in your door handle. Sounds ridiculous, right? That's exactly why it works. Did you know that major car manufacturers and dealerships have known about these vulnerabilities for years, but have done almost nothing to warn consumers? After interviewing former car thieves and analyzing thousands of police reports, I've uncovered the shocking truth about how easily thieves can take your vehicle, often without leaving a single trace. Today, I'm exposing the car theft secrets that the automotive industry doesn't want you to know about. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how thieves are targeting your vehicle, the specific vulnerabilities they exploit, and the simple countermeasures that can save your car from disappearing. But first, I have to ask you, has your dealership ever warned you about any of these theft methods when selling you a car with advanced security features? Drop a comment below because you're not alone, and what you learned today could save your vehicle from becoming another statistic. In my previous video about engine oil secrets, we talked about how manufacturers hide critical information from consumers. Today's topic connects directly to that. Because the security vulnerabilities in modern vehicles are systematically downplayed to avoid frightening consumers or admitting design flaws. A subscriber from Michigan commented that after implementing just 2 of the protective measures I'm about to share, he prevented what was clearly an attempted theft of his $58,000 truck. The would-be thieves left behind the exact device I'll be showing you in method number 7. Well, prepare to be shocked, because what I'm about to reveal could be the difference between keeping your vehicle and filing an insurance claim. Method number 10, key fob signal relay attack. This method is completely silent. No broken glass, no alarm, no sign of forced entry. The thief simply walks up to your car, opens it as if it were their own, and drives away. How? By exploiting a fundamental flaw in keyless entry systems. Modern vehicles with keyless entry allow you to unlock and start your car as long as the key fob is nearby. The problem? Thieves don't need your actual key. They only need to capture and relay its signal, which can be done from surprising distances. Here's how it works. One thief stands near your home with a signal amplifier that can detect your key fob signal through walls. A second thief stands by your car with a receiver. The amplifier captures your key signal and relays it to the receiver, tricking your car into thinking the key is present. The car unlocks, starts, and disappears without a sound. Thomas Wilson, a former security consultant for a major auto manufacturer, explained, "This vulnerability exists in virtually every keyless entry system on the market today. What's particularly troubling is that manufacturers have known about this flaw for over a decade. Yet few have implemented effective countermeasures because they would increase production costs. This method has become increasingly common in upscale neighborhoods where thieves specifically target high-end vehicles. The equipment needed costs less than $200 online and can bypass the security systems of vehicles worth $100,000 or more. How to protect yourself. Store your keys in a signal-blocking Faraday pouch when not in use. These pouches cost $10 to $15 and completely block the key signal. Alternatively, store keys in a metal container or refrigerator, which naturally blocks signals. Never leave keys near doors or windows, and consider using a physical steering wheel lock as a visible deterrent. Method number 9. Key fob code grabbing. Think locking your car with the remote is secure? Think again. Modern thieves use code-grabbing devices that intercept and record the signal from your key fob when you press the lock button. The moment you walk away after locking your car, a thief with a code grabber has captured your key's unique signal. They can then replay this exact signal to unlock your vehicle whenever they want. No broken windows, no alarm, no evidence of forced entry. Dr. Michael Richardson, who specializes in automotive security systems, confirmed. Most vehicles manufactured before 2018 use fixed code systems that are extremely vulnerable to this attack. The thief simply needs to be within 50 to 100 feet when you lock your car. Once they have your code, they can unlock your vehicle at any time. What's particularly alarming is the accessibility of this technology. Code grabbers that once required specialized knowledge now cost less than $100 online and come with simple instructions. I've spoken with insurance investigators who report seeing dramatic increases in these types of thefts, which often go unsolved because there's literally no evidence of how the vehicle was entered. How to protect yourself. Lock your car manually with the physical key whenever possible, especially in public places. If your vehicle offers it, use a key fob with rolling code technology that changes the signal with each use. Always verify your car is actually locked by checking the door handle, not just listening for the beep or watching the lights flash. Method number 8. OBD port key programming. Every vehicle manufactured since 1996 has an onboard diagnostic, OBD, port, typically located under the dashboard near the steering column. This port allows access to the vehicle's electronic systems for diagnostic purposes, but it's also a massive security vulnerability that thieves exploit regularly. With just 3 to 5 minutes of access to your vehicle's interior, a thief can plug a key programmer into the OBD port and create a brand new key that starts your car. No forced ignition, no hot wiring, no alarm activation. The process is clean, quick, and leaves virtually no evidence. James Anderson, a former auto theft detective with 22 years of experience, told me OBD port programming is now the preferred method for professional car theft rings. We've seen luxury vehicles stolen from restaurant valet parking in less time than it takes for the owner to eat an appetizer. The thief breaks a small window, plugs in the programmer, and drives away with a new key in under 5 minutes. What's most disturbing is that the vehicle's computer accepts the new key as legitimate. To the car systems, this fraudulent key is indistinguishable from ones provided by the manufacturer. How to protect yourself. Install an OBD port lock, $15 to $30, that physically prevents access to this critical port. Alternatively, install an OBD port relocator kit that moves the port to a hidden location. For added security, use a steering wheel lock or kill switch that provides a secondary layer of protection. Method number 7, fake tow trucks. You walk out to where you parked your car, and it's gone. No broken glass, no alarm, nothing. Your first thought, it was towed by authorities. The horrifying reality? It was stolen by thieves using a fake tow truck or flatbed. This increasingly common method involves criminals using unmarked tow vehicles to simply lift and haul away target vehicles in broad daylight. What makes this method particularly effective is that bystanders rarely question someone with towing equipment. They assume it's official business. Robert Johnson, a security consultant for several major parking facilities, confirmed. We've documented numerous cases where thieves in plainclothes using unmarked tow trucks have stolen vehicles from mall parking lots, apartment complexes, and even car dealership lots. They specifically target vehicles that appear to have been sitting for a while or have minor infractions like expired tags that would make a tow seem plausible. The boldness of this method is stunning. These thieves often operate during business hours, sometimes wearing generic safety vests to appear more official. By the time the owner realized their vehicle wasn't legitimately towed, it's already being stripped in a chop shop or loaded into a shipping container. How to protect yourself. Use a wheel lock or boot when leaving your vehicle parked for extended periods. Install a GPS tracker hidden somewhere thieves wouldn't easily find during a quick vehicle strip. Always ask for proper identification from anyone attempting to tow your vehicle, and call the police if anything seems suspicious. Method number 6, VIN cloning. This sophisticated method involves stealing a vehicle, then disguising its identity by using the vehicle identification number VIN from a legally registered car of the same make, model, and color. Here's how it works. Thieves steal a target vehicle, then locate another identical vehicle, often through online listings or dealer lots. They copy the legitimate vehicle's VIN, create counterfeit documents, and sometimes even forge inspection stickers. The stolen vehicle now appears legitimate and can be sold to unsuspecting buyers. William Thompson, who investigates vehicle fraud cases, explained, VIN cloning is the automotive equivalent of identity theft. The stolen vehicle assumes the identity of a legally registered car, making it extremely difficult to detect. We've seen cases where these clone vehicles have passed multiple DMV inspections before being discovered. The victims of this scheme are often everyday people buying what they believe is a good deal on a used car. They pay cash, receive what appear to be legitimate documents, and drive away happy until police show up weeks later to confiscate what turns out to be a stolen vehicle. How to protect yourself before purchasing any used vehicle. Run a comprehensive VIN check through multiple services like Carfax, AutoCheck, and the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Verify that the VIN appears in all the correct locations: dashboard, door jamb, engine block, and major body panels. Be suspicious of deals that seem too good to be true or sellers who resist showing proper documentation. Method number 5. The test drive theft. Can I take it for a quick test drive? Those might be the last words you hear before your car disappears forever. This bold method targets both private sellers and small dealerships. The scam works like this. A well-dressed, articulate buyer shows interest in your vehicle, presents what appears to be valid identification, usually forged, and asks to test drive the car. Once behind the wheel, they simply drive away and never return. By the time you realize what's happened, your vehicle is often already being disassembled or shipped overseas. Dr. Elizabeth Chun, who researches automotive security trends, told me the psychological aspect makes this method particularly effective. The thief establishes trust through professional appearance and behavior, leading sellers to lower their guard. What's most concerning is that we're seeing increasing sophistication in the fake IDs presented, many of which can fool anyone except trained document specialists. I've documented cases where vehicles worth over $50,000 were stolen this way, with the ID used belonging to someone who had passed away or had their identity stolen months earlier. By the time the police track down the identity, the vehicle is long gone. How to protect yourself. Always thoroughly verify potential buyer's identification, including taking a photo of their ID and the person together. Never hand over your keys before verifying all documentation. Go along for the test drive or have a friend follow in another vehicle. Meet in public places with surveillance cameras, preferably near police stations. Method number 4. The bump and rob. This method combines theft with a touch of deception and happens in the blink of an eye. You're driving when someone lightly rear-ends your car. It's nothing serious, just a fender bender. You pull over, exit your vehicle to assess the damage, and in that moment of distraction, an accomplice jumps into your driver's seat and speeds away. This method is particularly effective because it creates a momentary emergency that overrides people's normal security consciousness. In the stress of a minor accident, many drivers leave their keys in the ignition and their cars running, creating the perfect theft opportunity. Thomas Jenkins, who specializes in analyzing auto theft patterns, explained, what makes the bump and rob so effective is that it exploits basic human psychology. When we experience a minor collision, our attention narrows to focus on the immediate problem. This attentional blindness creates a perfect opportunity for theft, even in broad daylight with witnesses present. I've documented cases where this has happened in busy parking lots at midday, with the victim's purse, phone, and other valuables still in the vehicle. By the time they realize what's happened, both the striking vehicle and their own car have disappeared. How to protect yourself. If you're involved in a minor collision, turn off your engine, take your keys, and lock your car before exiting. Be aware of your surroundings and watch for suspicious behavior from the other driver. If something feels wrong, stay in your locked car and call the police. Consider driving to a police station or busy public area if you suspect the accident might be staged. Method number 3. The Good Samaritan scam. Miss, your tire looks flat. Sir, something's leaking under your car. These seemingly helpful warnings are often the beginning of a calculated theft. This scam works by creating a false emergency that distracts you while an accomplice steals your car or valuables. The helpful stranger approaches with alarming news about your vehicle, causing you to exit and investigate. While you're looking at the supposed problem, their partner makes their move. Robert Wilson, who trains corporate security teams, told me, this technique is particularly insidious because it exploits people's natural inclination to trust someone who appears to be helping. The thieves specifically target people who seem trusting or vulnerable, and they're incredibly efficient. The entire theft often takes less than 30 seconds from initial approach to driving away. This tactic is frequently used in gas stations, grocery store parking lots, and other public places where a brief conversation seems normal. Women and elderly drivers are disproportionately targeted, though anyone can fall victim to this convincing act. How to protect yourself. Never lower your window or exit your vehicle for a stranger, no matter how helpful they seem. If someone claims there's a problem with your car, thank them but say you'll check it yourself later. Always lock your doors immediately upon entering your vehicle and keep them locked while driving. If you're genuinely concerned about a potential vehicle issue, drive to a reputable service center or well-lit, populated area before investigating. Method number 2. Signal jammers for defeating trackers. You thought your GPS tracker would protect your vehicle? Think again. Professional car thieves now routinely use signal jammers that block GPS, cellular, and even Bluetooth signals. These small, affordable devices, sometimes called jammers, create an electronic bubble that prevents tracking devices from communicating with satellites or cellular networks. The thief activates the jammer, steals the vehicle, and drives to a secure location where the vehicle can be hidden from tracking systems until the battery dies or the device is located and removed. Dr. Michael Richardson, who specializes in vehicle security technology, explained, modern signal jammers are surprisingly powerful and compact. For less than $200, criminals can purchase devices that effectively block all common tracking frequencies within a 30-foot radius. What's particularly concerning is that when a tracking device is jammed, most systems simply show no signal, rather than triggering a specific alert of possible jamming. I've documented numerous cases where owners of high-end vehicles assume their expensive tracking systems guaranteed recovery, only to discover that the thieves had completely neutralized these systems within seconds of the theft. By the time the owner realizes the vehicle is missing, it's already in a shipping container or chop shop with no digital trail to follow. How to protect yourself. Use multiple tracking systems that operate on different frequencies or technologies. Have at least one tracker with a backup battery installed in a highly concealed location. Consider non-electronic security measures like steering wheel locks that provide visible deterrence. Set up your tracking system to send immediate alerts if signal is lost, which could indicate jamming. Method number 1. The coin in the door handle. Finally, we reach the simplest yet most insidious method, one that demonstrates how often successful theft relies on subtlety rather than sophistication. Here's how it works. You return to your car and notice a coin wedged in your door handle. It seems like a harmless prank or accident, so you remove it and continue with your day. What you don't realize is that the coin was deliberately placed to prevent your door from properly locking when you use your remote. The lock mechanism appears to engage. The lights flash, the horn beeps, but the coin has physically prevented the latch from closing completely. You walk away believing your vehicle is secure, while the thief waits for you to leave before simply opening the unlocked door and taking whatever they want, or the entire vehicle. James Wilson, a former auto theft investigator, told me, what makes this technique particularly effective is its simplicity and the psychological aspect. Most people dismiss a coin as irrelevant, but it's actually a deliberate marker. In some cases, thieves use this method to identify vehicles with valuable items visible inside. In others, they're setting up for a theft of the entire vehicle. I've seen this technique used in organized theft rings targeting specific vehicle models. This method is frequently used in shopping centers, workplace parking lots, and other locations where people typically spend predictable amounts of time away from their vehicles. The thief can place coins in multiple vehicles, then return later to check which ones have been removed, indicating the owner has returned, but potentially left the vehicle vulnerable. How to protect yourself. Always physically check that your doors are locked by pulling the handle, rather than just relying on the remote signals. Inspect your door handles before unlocking your vehicle, and be suspicious of any foreign objects. If you find something unusual, like a coin, look around carefully before entering your vehicle, as the person who placed it might be watching nearby. Consider using a secondary physical security device like a steering wheel lock. The automotive security crisis. What manufacturers don't tell you. These 10 methods represent just a fraction of the techniques used by modern car thieves. What's most alarming is that major manufacturers and dealerships are well aware of these vulnerabilities, but rarely communicate them to consumers. Why the silence? The answer is simple economics. Addressing these security flaws would require significant redesigns and more expensive components, cutting into profit margins. It's easier and cheaper to let insurance companies handle the aftermath of thefts than to fundamentally redesign vulnerable systems. Robert Thompson, who worked in product development for a major manufacturer for 24 years, admitted, the cost-benefit analysis is brutal but straightforward. Implementing truly effective countermeasures against methods like signal relay attacks would add $200 to $300 to the production cost of each vehicle. Multiply that across millions of units, and you're talking about a massive hit to the bottom line. So instead, these vulnerabilities are downplayed or ignored entirely in consumer materials. This calculated approach to security leaves consumers believing their vehicles are far more protected than they actually are. The sophisticated-sounding security features trumpeted in sales brochures provide little defense against the methods I've outlined today. The most effective protection comes not from trusting manufacturer claims, but from understanding how thieves actually operate and implementing your own countermeasures. Simple steps like using a steering wheel lock, storing keys in signal-blocking pouches, and installing hidden kill switches can provide more real-world protection than many of the electronic systems that come standard with new vehicles. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and share this video with friends and family who need to protect their vehicles. Subscribe to the channel for more automotive secrets the industry doesn't want you to know about. In the comments, let me know if you've experienced any suspicious activity around your vehicle that might have been an attempted theft. Your experience might help other viewers recognize and prevent similar situations. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when the automotive industry systematically withholds critical security information from consumers. Protect your vehicle with proven countermeasures, not just a false sense of security that comes from marketing claims about advanced electronic protection.